On September 25, 2008, Proceed held a gang awareness community forum in Elizabeth, New Jersey. The forum's purpose was to address the urgent need for communities and organizations to work together to reduce gangs and youth violence in the neighboring communities.
So some of the first work we got to do when you come together as a group is say, why are we here? Are we here to reduce gang crime?
It's a very serious problem. At the moment, there are about 50 unsolved homicides in the city of Elizabeth. I don't think there's ever been 50 unsolved homicides in the city of Elizabeth.
I think it's very important that people come together as a big family and realize that, you know, the gang issue and youth violence is no longer a law enforcement issue. It's everyone's problem. I think that we all need to step up to the plate and we all need to make this work one way or another.
The panel presents an opportunity for different ideas and concerns on gang issues to be discussed and help to find a solution.
The fact is that we can't arrest our way out of this problem, that it needs to continue to be a collaborative with remedies across the spectrum. But most important is community awareness and recognition of what the problem is, because quite frankly, from a law enforcement perspective, the police are only as good in gang enforcement as their relationship is with the community.
One unique part of the forum was an inside look at gang life through the film Moral Panic, which dissects gang life from the inside.
I joined the gang life, growing up watching people who I looked up to being in it, like, but I didn't do it because they did it, I did it because I felt it, like, it was in my heart, like, that was the way I wanted to live, like, with that type of brotherly love and respect, like, for one another.
It just really bothers me that we all get up and we say, oh, I do this and I do that and I do this, but what are you doing for these kids on the street? And the only change can come with real understanding and compassion, and it has to be from the heart. It can't be, you know, about a political uprising or anything of that nature. The only way that any difference will be made is if, instead of talking about these people, we talk to them and find out what their needs are, what their wants are, what their obstacles are, and then join with them to figure out how we can help them to address and overcome some of those needs, wants, and barriers.
We know we trendsetters of violence. Now we trendsetters for positivity, and we demanded that our community follow us. I mean, we walked in there with open arms. I mean, communities in North all over, they just embrace us and they love us, the sign, the logo, our message. Because we approach them, we let them know, hey, it's excited to be what you are now. Because we're going to help you create and change that mindset so you realize yourself that, hey, this gang stuff is really, I am part of the problem, like I have to realize myself.
One thing I noticed that's effective for us, that works for us, you gotta be consistent. No matter what you do, you gotta be consistent. Whether it be you doing something weekly or bi-weekly, you gotta be consistent. You gotta know that they can meet you there and you're gonna be there for them. They need that extra ear for somebody to talk to. They need somebody to listen to them.
Brian Thompson of WNBC New York was the panel moderator, helping address many of these issues. One constant obstacle for the panel is to figure out a way for everyone to communicate information to prevent violence in at-risk youth.
Well, one of the problems we have is laws that keep us from talking to each other. Laws that keep the police from talking to the schools talking to diapers talking to behavioral health, and then no one knows what's going on. And guess who rules? The child. He tells you what he's going to tell you, and no one knows anything different.
I think what we need to have here is, instead of the daily trench workers who are actually sitting in this audience, is the people who are their bosses, who needs to sit through the day and see what maybe the impact they're having isn't as strong as they'd like to have. Proceed, I feel, is a lead. The steering committee created by UC is a major lead, and it's the first of its kind in New Jersey.
There is ways to figure out how to share information. One way is that anybody who comes into your organization who you're going to serve, you have a confidentiality order they sign that we all can talk. Two is, with the Department of Human Services or Children, Youth, and Family, they don't tell me that, okay, the reason why he's in here is because his mom neglected him and she should give him da-da-da-da. But she just says he's in the system. Knowing that the kid is in CYF, that's what we call it, Children, Youth, and Family, just knowing that just allows me, when we're trying to put the plan together for that young person.
Local law enforcement was also part of the panel to stress their thoughts to community members.
Take a stand against gang violence and take a stand against gangs. That's easier said than done. But when we come to a crime scene and someone just got murdered in front of 18 people, and 18 people didn't see a bad thing, something's wrong and no one's taking a stand.
What we encourage people is to let us know what kind of activity is going on in your community. If you have some type of gang activity, want to report it. Don't be afraid. A lot of crimes go unreported because of their fear of what gang members are going to do back to them. And that's the biggest obstacle that we have. If we have a shooting and we have 18 people present, okay, and no one sees what happened, then that's a problem. We're never going to solve that crime because no one is willing to speak up.
The keynote speaker was also part of the law enforcement, Jose Cordero, who was appointed by Governor Corzine to serve as Director of Gangs, Guns, and Violent Crime Control Strategies.
The strategy, in essence, focuses on following the information trail to meaningfully intervene before serious crimes occur. You know, since we know many of the critical factors that contribute to violence in our community, doesn't it make sense to deal with them before they produce the next shooting and the next homicide? My point is that we all need to raise the bar for ourselves and in our community and stop blaming others or justifying what is happening in our streets. We need to stop for someone else to get involved and do something about our crime problem. We need to get involved in a meaningful way now rather than later.
So I think one of the most important things is that, you know, we can do this. I know it seems like a complex issue, one that is, taxing, our communities and our sense of safety in our communities. But the major point is we can do this. We've done it before. We can't do it alone. We need to work together, and we need to work toward a view that each member of our community and all the folks in this forum bring to the table a skill set that, when combined, makes a very powerful weapon against that we can leverage against gang and gang violence.
The only way that I believe to successfully combat gang, guns, and violent crimes is to come together, united, strong, and determined to fight for our neighborhoods and our kids. And we can do it. Thank you for your time.
Entertainment was also a highlight as musician Dose performed his single, I Gotta Go. Dose's lyrics bring alive the issues he faces in his neighborhood filled with gangs and violence.
Walking with God cause I dance with Satan. Running from death cause life is what I'm facing. This all seems indirect but it's real blatant. Brick City, lose your soul, get your car taken. Look in the eyes when we speak it, don't say the old rusty Ruger with the hand we made of wood. You talking about you ballin', let this kid starving in the hood.
I just want people to know what I go through, what people in my environment go through to bring about these forums. These forums about how can we prevent gangs, how can we prevent this, how can we prevent that. And we have everybody here except gang members, drug dealers, drug addicts. So I believe my music is sort of putting you in the shoes of the gang members, the drug dealers, and the addicts to make people that attend these forums understand why these forums are formed.
After the panel, members broke out into small groups to further discuss issues in more detail. One unique part of the Gang Awareness Community Forum is a follow-up meeting is already scheduled to evaluate the strategies implemented throughout the meeting.
We decided that we wanted to do a little bit something different, and that something different developed into a statewide coalition to address these issues with youth violence and gangs. We want to be able to bring everyone at the table, including parents, preachers, law enforcement, and the like.
That this forum is not about coming here, going back, and doing the same thing. It's about coming here, seeing what you can do, what you can accomplish, and then making it happen. Following this up with another one, and following it up as we already have planned with a coalition that's going to bring everybody together and have a group to make statements to the people who make decisions.